Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Dreadbloon. And this week's Dreadbloon is pretty interesting because as you can see, we have absolutely no heroes to start off with. Well, I mean, we have heroes, it's just not our usual moneymaker heroes. So we're going to attempt to beat Dreadbloon with no heroes, and it's definitely possible. So first off, we're going to start off with our 3-dot monkey as per usual, and we're going to place it here because it covers the most amount of track and it shouldn't give us that bad of a timing. So for now, since we need a little bit of extra DPS, especially for round 4 later on, we're going to place down a boat. We're going to place our lovely banana farm right here, and we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a 200 farm. Now we may be close to getting a second 200 farm, but we got something more important to deal with, and that is round 14 and 15. So first off, let's go ahead and grab ourselves a grape shot. Not because I'm worried about the time, I'm more worried about leaking way too many balloons. Now after getting our third 200 farm, we're going to plop down a village right here, and hopefully it's going to be in range of all these 3 farms at the very least. And once that's done, we can go ahead and get ourselves a 002 farm, right? So that we can go ahead and get ourselves cheaper farm upgrades. After plopping down this farm, we need to get a little bit of camera detection, so let's go ahead and grab ourselves a crow's nest. And before we continue, we also have to deal with the lead balloons for the next round. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a 200 farm first, or another one. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing as we usually do, and that is grab an alchemist. And we're going to grab a bottom path alchemist, but first side to strong, and you want to grab faster throwing at the very least. Now by the end of round 27, you should have led to gold, and ideally you should also get larger potions if you can, because larger potions just make it a lot easier for you to gather more money. And finally, we're going to go ahead and end off with a final 200 farm. And what happens when we're done with getting all these farms, we are going to upgrade to the bottom path. So now it's going to become a bunch of 203 farms. Now round 35 is going to be very nonsensical, so instead we're going to build out our defenses by placing an engineer right here, and we're going to grab at the very least a 013 double gun, because as you can see the ceramic balloons, they are quite a lot to deal with, so you kind of need the ceramic gun to the double gun to help you pop these balloons a little bit. And yeah, it's not going to grant you the most cash, but that's fine. Okay, so now you should have gotten all of your marketplaces before round 37 ends, and we're now going to save up for our defenses. For tier 1, we're going to grab a 104 ninja set to strong. Why? Because it's a really cheap defense. And while waiting for Dreadbloon to, well, be rid of its first layer, we're going to go ahead and place down a tech zone right here. And we're also going to put it under the influence of a village, because of course we have to place under the influence of a village. So once the first scout is popped, immediately sell your ninja and grab a tech zone. Of course you're going to have to sell some farms to get it, so go ahead and do that. And you definitely need the middle path monkey intelligence bureau as soon as you can. But I'm going to wait a little while before selling the farms so that I could get it, so that we can maximize the amount of money that we gain out of this. Now that we're done with it, let's continue farming. We're not going to do boat farming just yet. What we're going to do is just continue with our regular farms, and this time we're going to go with top path farms, so BRFs. There we go. So now that once the Dreadbloon is popped, we're going to turn off auto start, we're going to sell the MIB, and we're going to sell the tech zone as well so that we can afford a BRF. Now we're also going to go ahead and grab ourselves a little bit more money first. So first we're going to go ahead and get a rubber to gold, one that is set to last and one that is set to strong, or rather upgrade your other alchemist to a 104. Now this is going to be our defense for round 46. Once you have enough money, go ahead and save up for an overdrive. And as for the balloon trap, actually I think it's best if you place it in this roundabout for now. So you should be fine after that. Now round 48 might be a small problem, so if you want to help yourself a little bit, just go ahead and grab yourself a 300 sub. You don't need to upgrade anything else. A 300 sub would be simple enough for you to deal with most of the camo purples. And also, it will help feed your balloon trap as well, so that's another perk as well. Now for round 49, we are going to grab a second Bloon trap and we're going to place it at the exact same spot so that we can feed the Bloon trap as much as possible. Now for round 51 onwards, the sub isn't a good enough decamo, so go ahead, just save yourself the time and effort, just get yourself a shimmer. And also, once you do have 2 or 420 farms, go ahead and grab yourselves a monkey city so that it can give you a lot more money. And for your final 420 farm, go and sell the other 203 farm that you haven't sold yet. So fair warning, tier 2 is going to be extremely infuriating, so you have to do exactly what is said here. So first off, we're going to try our best not to sell any of our farms. We're going to save up for a bottom path Avatar of Wolf. So let's go ahead and get that. And now once we've gotten that, we're going to leave it first. That's very important. And you're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a middle path MIB. Now once that's done, we're going to save up for a tech zone. And once we get a tech zone, we're also going to boost our tech zone with a top path Alchemist. So it's going to be a 420 Alchemist. And keep it out of the Avatar of Wolf's range because you do not want to boost the Avatar of Wolf. Now I also got about that, but I also got the jungle drums for my MIB so that it's much easier to pop things. So there's nothing much we can do about the rock balloons for now. So what we want to do is quickly grab ourselves a middle path mat. So once we've done that, it should be easy to deal with the remainder of Dreadbloon. Now in order to afford this, we need to go ahead and sell the Avatar of Wolf and the MIB and the Alchemist so that we can grab the mat and keep the mat pointed at the furthest rock balloon because the rock balloon is going to be your biggest problem for the entirety of this run. So we're going to go ahead and use the mat ability on these rock balloons, and yeah, it might be a bit wasteful, but trust me, you probably need it way more than you think. After a while, you can just keep the mat pointed straight at the Dreadbloon because the rock balloons also happen to you know, go along in this sort of a straight path. And also you just use the mat ability as much as you can. Your farming is of least importance right now. The most important thing you want to do right now is just to survive, and if you want to survive, this is the easiest way to do so. Try to avoid popping round 65 BFBs as much as possible. So we're going to try to avoid popping that so that we could try and pop this before round 65 ends. And we did it. We actually did it. So there we go, tier 2 popped, and since we already have auto start off, it's kind of perfect. So now we can go ahead and adjust our strategy. So this time we're going to get a third rubber to go, this time set to first, and we're also going to leave our Bloon traps here for the time being. However, we don't need the bolts anymore, so we can say adios to that. For tier 3 defense, I've gotten an additional 2 overdrives and a single 203 cluster bomb and a 420 radar scanner. I've also sold the wizard because we don't need it now that we've gotten a radar scanner. We're going to upgrade to recursive cluster after a while, preferably after round 75, just so that we can save up as much money as possible. As for farming, you can actually increase the range of your Monkeyopolous. So first, we're going to get bigger radius on this, and we're going to get another 100 village somewhere around here, which surprisingly allows you to place a farm over here and get it within the range of your monkey city. And once you've gotten yourself, actually I think we can place another farm here, so let's go ahead and grab that. And yeah, that's all the farms that you can place. So once you gather yourself enough money, go ahead and grab yourselves a Monkeyopolous. And as soon as you get your Monkeyopolous, with the second village, go ahead and grab yourselves a monkey city so that you can increase the amount of money you get from your Monkeyopolous right here. Now as for farms, we're going to save up for a 520 Banana Central, obviously within the influence of our Monkeyopolous, otherwise it would have all been useless. And there we go. And now with that, we're going to grab an engineer to boost our Banana Central. So you just need a 040 and then just overclock the farm whenever you need to. And as for the remainder of our farms, we're going to get a bunch of 420 farms. Now, this spot right over here will be reserved for our 025 farm. So you can place down your farm there as a placeholder for now, but try not to upgrade it to a 025 just yet. Now once you've gotten several 420 farms, go ahead and upgrade your farm to a central market, but don't get Monkey Wall Street just yet. Why? Because Monkey Wall Street won't give you that much money before you sell it. So in other words, you lose a bit of money. So just trust me, don't get Monkey Wall Street just yet. So this is the last one you're going to farm, so just get as many 420 farms as possible. And also it's probably about time to grab yourself a recursive cluster, so just go ahead and grab that and you should be fine. So now it's round 80 and our defense from here on out is going to be hectic. So first off, let's sell everything. And yes, including our free dark monkey, we don't need that, bye bye. So this is what we can afford so far for our tier 3 defense. We can afford a flying fortress, a MIB with jungle drums, a avatar of wolf, and a glaive lord. And guess what? We're going to go with a glaive dominus once again for our tier 3 defense. So just farm as much as possible and then grab the necessary boomerang tier 5s that you need and just get yourself a degree 1 glaive dominus. You don't need any high degree glaive dominus for this. Now surprisingly, you will be able to get the glaive dominus before the first card even pops. So just go ahead and save yourself the trouble and get the glaive dominus first, just so that you can pop it as soon as you can. Now we're going to resume with our farming, and we're going to first off get the Monkey Wall Street that we are supposed to get a long time ago, and we're going to leave our defenses up for the time being, just so that we can pop this fella a little, also slightly faster. So as for farms, first off, let's just go ahead and spam as many 420 farms as we can, and also do keep note that you can actually place farms below the track right here. So that's a very helpful guide in case you didn't know that. And voila! Now that tier 3 is popped, we're going to go ahead and sell both our glaive dominus and our avatar of wolf. We're going to leave the flying fortress up there, although we don't need the MIB anymore. So let's go ahead and get BRF, and also remember to leave your auto start off so that you can manage your farms while before the next round starts. Now once you maximize both your farm and village placements, go ahead and save up your money for an ultra boost so that you can boost your banana central as much as possible. Oh yeah, also when you sell the MIB, get back middle path radar scanner village, because I completely forgotten that this guy doesn't have a DET popping power, so oops, my bad. Our first paragon we're going to save up for is the Ascended Shadow, aka the Ninja Paragon. So this is going to be the location of our Ascended Shadow, so go ahead and buy 17024 ninjas once you get all your tier 5s to maximize your Paragon degree. So now it's round 100 and we are almost on our way to avoiding the Ascended Shadow. So let's just farm for one more time and then let's go ahead and upgrade our Ninja Paragon, or rather get our Ninja Paragon, and we have a degree 27, which is not bad. So let's leave this fair to strong, and we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves the Boomerang Paragon as quickly as we can, because we don't really have time to waste. And this time our Boomerang Paragon will be located close to the Ninja Paragon, so that's just an FYI. As for your Boomerang upgrades, you want to grab as many 240s as possible, so let's go ahead and grab that, and we need to grab them quickly before it's down to its third skull, otherwise it will be pointless. Okay, so I think we have to sell a few of our farms, so let's go ahead and do just that, and we are going to grab ourselves the Glaive Dominus, which admittedly is a little bit late, but that's fine. And despite the fact that it's only a degree 21, it's nothing to worry about. It's still relatively decent, so we're going to leave it as that, and we're going to rebuy our farms. And there we go, tier 4 has been popped. And now we're just down to tier 5, so first off, we are going to save up for the Engineer Paragon, because once again, the Boat Paragon is unavailable to us for some reason. Thank you very much, NK. So, Engineer Paragon it is. As for the location of our Engineer Paragon, it's gonna be right here. So, let's go ahead and save up for that. And also, since we got XXXL Trap, let's go ahead and just, place at the start of the map, just to give us a little bit more pops. Oh, and of course, to boost our upgrades, we're going to get as many 024 overclocks as much as possible. And the reason we're not going for top path is just so that the amount of sentries won't lag out the game. Also, not to mention the benefit of getting this many overclocks is that we can overclock as many of our farms as possible. So, to maximize our farm output, let's go ahead and overclock as many as possible with the overclock boost that we now have. And with that, we should be able to afford the Master Builder right now. So let's go ahead and grab that. And we want to grab the Master Builder as early as possible, so that A, we can now leave more pots for the Flying Fortress, and B, so that it can self-overclock. And self-overclock allows it to pop balloons much faster. So we're going to leave it as such. So let's go ahead and farm as much as possible before round 120. Oh yeah, and don't forget to place down the Master Builder Sentries because I've forgotten about that in the last boss one. So let's go ahead and do just that. So now we're at round 120. First off, let's sell all of our farms. And for the record, we currently have $1.3 million. I think I've sold one of my turrets by accident, but either way, we have $2.4 million in cash, and don't worry about the one turret, it won't really affect your timing that much. So now we're going to grab the Ace Paragon, because what else are we going to get? Seriously, we're not going to get a Dark Paragon, are we? And for our sacrifices, we got 17024 Spectres, and now we're going to upgrade this fella to the Goliath Doomship. And look at that, we got degree 49, which is not as impressive, but still pretty good nonetheless. So we're going to leave it as figure infinite. And as for our additional defenses, we are going to go ahead and grab the following. We're going to grab a primary expertise, and we're going to grab a critical Moab sniper set to strong, and we're also going to grab a glue gunner just as long as it is within the range of the primary expertise, and grab a glue storm with corrosive glue. And the rest of our defenses, well, they just serve as additional DPS, but honestly they don't really impact Dreadbloon that much, but still it's useful to have extra DPS. So as for Goliath Doomship ability, we're going to leave our targeting here, and honestly leaving the targeting there should do it for the remainder for the whole boss. So without waiting, let's go ahead and just get started with this party, and remember to activate the Glue Storm ability as much as possible. As for the Goliath Doomship ability, just activate it whenever, but obviously don't activate it when it's under military immunity, because that's really stupid. Now for the Goliath Doomship's final ability, we're going to target it like such, and we're just going to activate it as much as possible. So let's activate it now, and that should do a lot of damage. Well, I mean, it was a lot of damage, but then it has to transform to this rock state. But anyway, as you can see, we have dealt with Dreadbloon Elite relatively simply, and obviously I'm not known for getting the least time on bosses, and that's fine, because more importantly is that we tried and we beat Dreadbloon without any farming heroes. So let's see how well we did on the leaderboard. Not very good, but that's fine. Lowest timing being 4 minutes and 14 seconds, and we placed 114 surprisingly. I expected us to place lower, but I guess not. This will do just fine, I guess. So yeah, that's it for this video. Dreadbloon is relatively doable even without any farming towers. You just need to think about what's the best way to farm, especially when it comes to your tier 1 and tier 2 defenses, because once you dealt with that and you finish tier 3, then the last 2 tiers is very simple. So with that, I'm not going to hold you guys back any longer. Let's just end the video already. So thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like if you like this video, leave a comment if you have anything else to add, and I wish you guys a very good Christmas/Boxing Day.